Hi there, everybody. It's lovely to see you, and I'm sorry that I can't be with you virtually in person today. But I know you're going to get a great session on the Age of Reformation with my PhD student, Cameron McLean. What I wanted to do in this short video is share with you a series of new resources on Mary Queen of Scots, which you can use in teaching for the Age of Reformation module. And they're all spinning out of a project I've been co-leading at the University of Glasgow over the past 7 years with my colleague Angelo Beveridge. So focusing in on SQA Key Issue 2, the Reign of Mary Queen of Scots, 1561 to 1567, the project that we've been leading at Glasgow since 2015 is called In My End is My Beginning, the Memorialisation and Cultural Afterlife of Mary Queen of Scots. It started in 2015, centred around this painting that you can see on the screen by Gavin Hamilton, a neoclassical artist from Scotland who made his life and career in Rome, and then was approached by James Boswell to create a painting of romantic Scottish history. And the result was this painting, The Abdication of Mary Queen of Scots. It's significant because it's a moment in time when Mary's life and her story becomes one of romance and one of her cultural afterlife. It's when the first portrait is produced of her that has no claim to any historical basis in fact, and it's representative of a shift that takes place in the mid-18th century, away from a strict interest in Mary as a political and historical figure into one who is far more at home in the world of literature, music, drama, art, and indeed, as we've gone on through the centuries, into various other media, including film and TV. The project that we'd originally envisaged started around doing a small exhibition on this painting, and it was an exhibition idea that was developed between myself and Angelo Beveridge, and Anne's based in the Hunterian Art Gallery and Museum at the university. We spent a couple of years exploring the university's collections, looking at the material it had on Mary Queen of Scots, and what we found was an exceptionally extensive range of material, particularly around coinage. Glasgow has an extensive coin collection in the Hunterian in its own right, but it also has, at the moment in its collection, the Lord Stuartby collection, one of the greatest, if not the greatest, collection of British coinage anywhere in the world. And Cameron's going to tell you a bit about those items in the session. So once we'd scoped out our collections at Glasgow, we also had a range of students and interns working through the catalogues, looking at the material, analysing it, telling us a bit more about it. We also did some work with schools and started to develop and pilot a school textbook. And then we also produced a range of other material and resources, which I'm going to talk about just now. The idea of a textbook is one that we're still developing for schools, and we do have a draft for anybody that would like to have a look at it and would be interested. Please follow up with me and get in touch to discuss that. So as I said, the project was initiated in 2015. It was funded by the Royal Society of Edinburgh between January 2019 and early 2021. It was extended through COVID into August 2021. And the project brought together over 40 academics, curators, heritage specialists from all across Scotland and from the Royal Collection and the British Museum, which is two UK-wide collections, to look at the various holdings they had relating to Mary, the objects and images they had in their collections, and what they tell us about Mary. The project's been interested not just in Mary in her own life, but really what all the different representations of her in material culture, whether that's in images or artworks, whether it's in TV or film, whether it's in books or operas, and what all these objects tell us about how people through the centuries have viewed Mary, how they use that to articulate a particular form of Scottish history and identity. And the question that really began the whole project for me was, why are people so perennially interested in Mary Queen of Scots? Why is it that she's so endlessly fascinating to people, despite the fact that she ruled for very little time and was really not a success at all? We've used those objects to reconstruct changing attitudes to gender, to monarchy, and to religion, to understand, for example, how Mary was viewed as Catholic emancipation became a part of the Scottish narrative again in the modern period, We've looked at how Mary has been representative of women and how women have responded to Mary through the centuries, and how our relationship with the monarchy has changed as well. And we've also been interested in sub-questions around this mania that people have for holding on to objects relating to Mary, but also, and again, want to debate with your students, what is a true portrait of Mary? We have so many different images of Mary, and very few of them are actually real. Now, that's broadly what the project was about. And in terms of teaching the higher, the resources that I'd recommend to you are as follows. The first is our website, In Search of Mary Queen of Scots. It was a spin-off that we had to produce in some ways when we had to adapt the project to COVID in 2020. We were scheduled to have a series of public workshops, and when we couldn't, what we did was put all our teaching materials and our research materials for each workshop online. And then the contributors to each of those workshops started to write short blogs, and from there, the blog itself took off and became a major part of our project webpage. The website itself was paid for by the Centre for Scottish and Celtic Studies. We do have a linked Twitter account that is still active, and we have 38 blogs so far, each of under 1,000 words, looking at Mary's cultural afterlife from her contemporary period right through to the present day. And we look at objects, we look at images, we look at her relationship with Sir Walter Scott and Robert Burns. We look at Mary among current drag performers. So there's lots of stuff to engage your students with that they might be interested in on that site. And again, it's mqs.glasgow.ac.uk. Another key resource which might be useful for continuous professional development is our massive open online course. If you have teachers who are teaching history at the school who don't know too much about Mary and want to tackle her as a new module, I would recommend this course as a great place to start. It's used by teachers and tour guides to develop their own knowledge. It's a free, massive open online course. It's run by our partner, FutureLearn. I managed and wrote all the material for the course itself, and we have video contributions from Julian Goodair, Jane Dawson, Amy Blakeway, and a range of other key Scottish historians. And also Anna Groundwater contributes a great deal on material culture for us to the MOOC. It runs for 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks explore key debates in Mary's life and reign, and then the last week looks at the findings of the current research project and her cultural afterlife. It launched in 2021, and it's had just under 5,000 learners so far. It's running at a feedback rate of 4.8 out of 5, so it's been very popular. And it's running over the next academic year in a 3-week block from 31st of October 2022, and then again for a 3-week block from the week of 20th February 2023. All the videos on there are under 7 minutes. There's a whole range of really simple textual content that explains things like the Darnley marriage, Bothwell. There's a lot of interpretation on there by Julian Goodair on Bothwell. It's new and exciting. There's a huge range of competing views on Mary. So all these videos can be downloaded and used. So please go on and sign up for it. And if you'd like access to the videos before that, please just get in touch with me. Finally, the other resource that I'd like to share with you is one that I'm really very excited about. The project is coming to an end now, and we're having a major exhibition of all the stuff that we found in the university collections at the Hunterian Art Gallery. And it's running from half term, 14th October 2022, until the beginning of February 2023. It's really focused on Mary's afterlife, but the first room is full of objects relating to Mary's personal life. And we have a huge range of multimedia objects and images to share with you, including a film room. We have a wide range of public events coming up, including Friday lunchtime talks, formal academic seminars. We have a talk online by Antonia Fraser, which will be taking place in early January. And we do offer school visits if you want to get in touch and bring a higher class. I'd be happy to help out with that. Please just get in touch. The exhibition also has a series of online resources. The exhibition website is gla.ac.uk/Mary Queen of Scots, where you'll find the latest up-to-date exhibition timetable with all our events. but through the websites and QR codes at the exhibition, you'll also be able to access a range of academic content through a site called Bloomberg Connects. You can do that in the exhibition or on the exhibition website when it goes live in October. So those are 3 major new resources that you can use to enhance your teaching on Mary and to introduce teachers at your school to Mary if they were interested in developing her as a topic. If you have any questions, please just drop me a line and keep the conversation going. Thanks very much.